Postgame show on the Padres Radio Network. Coming up, we'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. Listen to Mike Shildt's post-game comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
2-0 is hammered in the air deep down the left field line. Laureano trying to keep it fair, and he does. A home run. Laureano into that tunnel down the left field line in San Francisco. A 2-run homer here in the fifth inning. And the Padres are pouring it on the Giants 10-0.
Padres break out the bats and they break out the brooms as they beat the Giants 11-1 in this series finale. Padres sweep the Giants in a 3-game series. They've won 5 in a row. They've won 14 out of 17, and the Padres continue to roll as they now head to LA. And at the moment, the Padres a half game up on the Dodgers for first place in the National League West, with the Dodgers playing the Angels later on tonight. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show. Hey, player, when it comes to giving you what you want, Jamul Casino Resort isn't playing around. It's way more than a place to game. It's a place where you can stay and play in every possible way. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Lot to do on our post-game coverage on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We have all the radio highlights for you. Full game recap. We will break down each and every aspect of this game. The Padres continue to play very, very good baseball, and they're playing it at the exact right time, and they have a ton of momentum heading into a huge series in LA beginning on Friday. But what I think you had to love about this game here today, it went, quite frankly, the way it should have went. And I mean that for a couple of reasons. Number one, you look at the starting pitching matchup today. Nick Pivetta, who's had such a good season, against Kai-Wei Tseng, young right-hander, on the mound for the Giants. And the Padres, yeah, they got a little lucky in the second inning. They got a doink off the second base bag. They got a weird throw from Ramos in left. But you know what? You don't score 7 runs in an inning by accident. And they got to Tseng early in this game, jumped in front and gave Nick Pivetta plenty to work with. Just on the pitching matchup alone, you felt like the Padres had a major, major advantage in this series finale and had a really good chance to sweep this series. And the other reason, you had to feel really good about this game coming in, and quite frankly, it felt like a game the Padres should be able to win and should be able to really put the hammer down on the Giants in this series. This is a Giants team that's not playing well. I mean, we saw it throughout the last 3 days. They're not hitting well. They're not fielding particularly well. They're not pitching super well. This is a Giants team that has not played well for a while, and it was on full display today. And this is a Padres team, on the contrary, that is playing great baseball right now. So you felt like this was the game based on the direction these two teams are going, and the starting pitching matchup. You felt like this was a game, not a must win, but a game the Padres should win. This should be a series sweep. And to the Padres' credit, it was another very complete team win. You look at the 4 wins in this, the last 4 wins in this 5-game win streak, going back to Saturday against the Red Sox, the last 4, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What I think you have to love about them, these are complete team wins. I mean, think about it. The starting pitching in this series, really good. Yu Darvish, really good. Nestor Cortez gets taken out in the 5th inning, but he was solid. And today, Nick Pivetta was Nick Pivetta. He was really, really good, had a big lead to work with, and you never had to sweat in this game once the Padres took that early 7-0 lead with a 7-run second. Starting pitching really good. The offense, top to bottom, and especially the bottom half of the lineup, once again, shining today, but top to bottom throughout this series, they were great. They were productive. They moved the line. They strung hits together. The offense was really good throughout this series, and especially here today. And the relief pitching. We know Monday, Tuesday, they had to go to the high leverage guys. They shined once again, and today, credit to Wandy Peralta and Yuki Matsui. They were great out of the bullpen today. Wandy coming in, getting 1 out, and then Yuki Matsui, credit to him, 2 scoreless innings. So it was another game where the offense was good, the starting pitching was good, the relief pitching was really good, And you put all that together, it's an 11-1 win. The last 4 wins in this 5-game win streak, to me, have been very complete, very crisp, very good team wins. And the Padres are playing team baseball right now. They are clicking on all cylinders. Again, they've won 5 in a row. They've won 14 out of 17. They outscored the Giants in this series 20-3. They are playing some inspired baseball right now, and it didn't feel that way on the other side of things for the Giants in this series. I mean, again, you talk about 2 teams that feel very, very different right now. They played differently, and it just felt differently in this series. So again, today's game in particular, was it a must-win game for the Padres? No. I mean, they're playing great baseball. It's not a must-win game against the Giants on a Wednesday afternoon when you're in the spot the Padres are right now. But it did feel, when you looked at the starting pitching matchup and when you looked at the quality of baseball these 2 teams are playing right now, how different it is, how different it feels. This did feel like a game you should win. And the Padres won it convincingly. So for that reason, today and this series in San Francisco, a huge, huge success. And like Jesse alluded to in the post-game wrap-up, this was the appetizer. Now you got the main course, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday in LA, then 3 more games against the Dodgers in San Diego next weekend. We all understand these are going to be massive head-to-head meetings between these 2 teams, and these 2 teams will go into Friday series opener in LA in one of 2 scenarios. Either the Dodgers win tonight and the Padres will be tied with the Dodgers for first place in the NL West, and that's what the Padres guaranteed with this win, is that at worst they'll be tied with the Dodgers entering Friday, or the Angels do the Padres another favor and they continue to have the Dodgers number and they beat them again and they sweep them in Anaheim tonight. So I have a feeling Padres fans are also Angels fans today, and so we'll see what happens up in Anaheim later today, but the Padres can only take care of what they can control, and they did that in striking fashion here today, beating the Giants 11-1. Let's step aside. When we come back, all the radio highlights. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt coming up in a little bit as well. Final score is the Padres sweep the Giants. They've won 5 in a row, 14 out of 17. Padres 11 and the Giants 1. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues after this. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Final score, Padres 11 and the Giants 1 as the Padres sweep the Giants. They've won 5 in a row. They outscored the Giants in this 3-game series 20-3 in full command the whole way through. And now the Padres will enjoy an off day tomorrow and then begin a massive 3-game series against the Dodgers in LA on Friday. The West Divisional Showdown against San Francisco is presented by Palomar Health, reimagining healthcare. We'll go back to Oracle Park in San Francisco. Hear from Mike Shildt coming up in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. We'll also get to your phone calls coming up a little bit later at 833-288-0973. A lot of offense to talk about. Let's do it.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Our starting pitching matchup today in this series finale, veteran right-hander Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Padres and young right-hander Kai-Wei Teng on the mound for the Giants. Both right-handers tossed the scoreless opening frame, but then the top of the second happened. Teng walked Xander Bogaerts with 1 out. Ryan O'Hearn singled. Ramon Laureano walked to load the bases. That brought up Jake Cronenworth.
1-2 again, and Cronenworth lines it up the middle. It'll bounce on one hop off the bag into center field. Bogaerts has scored. O'Hearn is on his way. Laureano's headed to third. The throw there, not in time. And off the base at second for Cronenworth. A 2-run single to give the Padres a 2-0 lead.
It was a very fortuitous bounce for Jake Cronenworth and the Padres. If that bounce is true, might be a double play. Willie Adames was ready for it behind the second base bag, but it hit the bag and then redirected, went into the outfield. 2 runs came in, like Jesse said, and the Padres had an early 2-0 lead. They were just getting started. Elias Diaz walked to load the bases again. Fernando Tatis Jr. was next.
Tatis swings, bangs it up the middle. Adames can't get there into center field and a base hit. Laureano has scored. Cronenworth is on his way. 2-run single for Fernando and a 4-0 Padre lead.
Padres weren't done. Luis Arraez drove in another run with a sacrifice fly to make it 5-0. Next up was Manny Machado.
And Machado rips it in the air down the left field line. That is a fair ball, going to bounce up against the wall. Handled by Ramos. Terrible throw back to the infield as it gets away. That will allow Fernando to score without a play. Machado standing at second base. It's 6-0. And Ramos, I think, just had the ball slip out of his hand as he threw it in towards the infield. It's a double for Machado, but no RBI as the errant throw from Ramos allowed Tatis to score.
Yeah, Tatis had no inclination to score there. He was stopped at third base, but then Ramos, he just lost the handle. He spiked it. It was a bad throw from Ramos. Tatis recognizing it, racing in from third to home. He scored a run. Machado with a double, error on Ramos in left, and the Padres had a 6-0 lead. So they were taking advantage of bounces, of bad throws, you name it. Well, they weren't done. Manny was on third, Jackson Merrill on first base later in the inning, and then this happened.
First and third for Bogaerts with 2 down. And first pitch to Xander off the glove of the catcher, Bailey. Here comes Machado. The throw, he's safe. So a passed ball gets another run home. And it's 7-0 here in the second.
So the Padres putting together a 7-run second. They had a big lead. They took advantage of everything the Giants gave them in that inning. And then the other great part of today's game, they had Nick Pivetta, like we said, on the mound. He began his day with 4 scoreless innings. Padres still leading 7-0 in the 5th inning. Former Padre Joey Lucchesi on the mound. Xander Bogaerts hit a 1-out double. Ryan O'Hearn was next.
1-1, muscled on a line into left field. That's going to get down at a base hit. Bogaerts rounding third. He'll score easily. O'Hearn digging for second. No chance to get him. Back-to-back doubles, and the Pods have added on. It's 8-0.
So one of the new guys with an RBI. The other part of that trade with the Orioles, of course, Ramon Laureano. Laureano had a big swing.
2-0 is hammered in the air deep down the left field line. Laureano trying to keep it fair, and he does. A home run. Laureano into that tunnel down the left field line in San Francisco. A 2-run homer here in the 5th inning. And the Padres are pouring it on the Giants 10-0.
Ramon Laureano's 17th home run of the season, is second as a San Diego Padre. It was still 10-0, top half of the seventh inning. Tristan Beck on the mound for San Francisco. Fernando Tatis Jr. dug in with runners on base.
1-0, banged on the ground, left side, that's through, and a base hit. Laureano is waved. Here's the throw from Ramos, not in time. RBI single, Fernando Tatis Jr. He's driven in 3, and this one goes to 11.
11-0 Padres in front. Nick Pivetta was great. He went 6 2/3 strong innings, gave up a run in the 7th on a sac fly. Bullpen did the rest. Wandy Peralta got the final out of the 7th inning. Yuki Matsui, credit to Yuki, 2 scoreless innings in the 8th and the 9th, and that was that here today. Final score in San Francisco as the Padres earn a 3-game sweep. The Padres 11 and the Giants 1. Final totals here today for the Padres: 11 runs, 14 hits, no errors for San Diego, 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error for San Francisco. Giants dropped to 59-62. Padres improved to 69-52 on the season. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Padres have won 5 in a row, 14 out of 17. They sweep a 3-game series against the Giants on this Wednesday. Our postgame coverage continues after this.
You're listening to the
Break out the brooms. Padres win it 11-1 against the San Francisco Giants on this Wednesday. Welcome back into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show. Our postgame coverage, as always, brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios as we continue to wrap this one up. The Padres have won 5 in a row. They sweep the Giants in this 3-game series. They've won 14 out of 17. Everything working in San Francisco Monday, Tuesday, and today. Padres outscoring the Giants in this series by a grand total of 20 8-3. Man, the Giants are just not scoring runs. They're not playing good baseball. That was all on full display over the course of this 3-game series. Before we hear from Mike Shildt, I do want to point out one thing that we didn't get to over the course of the post-game recap and our radio highlights. And that was Ramon Laureano. What a day for Ramon. And the reason I bring him up, it's not just because he hit the 2-run home run in the 5th inning and made it 10-0. That was a great moment for Ramon. And yes, Ramon Laureano had another great day, 3 hits, 3 runs scored, a home run. But for a second straight day, you could point to a really, really tough plate appearance that Ramon Laureano had where this game may have turned in that plate appearance. Today, it was in the 2nd. It's a 0-0 game. Young right-hander Kai Wei-Ting on the mound for the Giants. Gives up a 1-out walk to Xander Bogaerts. Gives up a 1-out single to Ryan O'Hearn. And then Ramon Laureano works a 10-pitch walk against Ting. Really, really makes him work. Loads the bases. And after that, you had the 2-run single by Cronenworth, a little bit of luck bouncing off the bag. A walk to Diaz, 2-run single by Tatis, sac fly for a rise, double run scores for Machado, and the pass ball. And all of a sudden, you have a 7-run 2nd inning. But I go back to that 10-pitch plate appearance by Ramon Laureano. That was before he hit the home run. That's before he had a single and scored a run later in the game. His first plate appearance of the day against Ting, making him work. It feels like that, in a way, really set up that 2nd inning. And it's so similar to what Laureano did yesterday. We talked about it in yesterday's postgame. Laureano works a 9-pitch at bat in the 2nd yesterday in a similar situation, tie game, 1-1 in the 2nd. And after that, Jose Iglesias, next batter, moments later, hits a home run. And the Padres take a 3-1 lead and never look back in yesterday's game. So the 9-pitch single yesterday got him going. Then he had a double and a run scored later in the game to make it 4-1. And then today, before the Padres ever had a lead, that 10-pitch walk loads the bases. Again, I marvel at the quality of plate appearance that Ramon Laureano is putting together, the production he continues to put together. And this was another day for the bottom third of this lineup where they really, really shined. We talked about it in the pregame today. It was one of our keys to today's game. The bottom third of the lineup continuing to do what it's done as of late. Entering today, the 2 games to begin this series from the 7, 8, 9 spots. The 7, 8, 9 spots had a combined 7 hits, a home run, and 6 RBIs. And here today, the 7, 8, 9 spots had a combined 6 hits, a home run, and 4 RBIs. So what is that combined from 7, 8, 9 in this 3-game series in San Francisco? That is, you know what? 6 hits today. So combined, 3 games, 13 hits, 2 home runs, and 10 RBIs from the 7, 8, 9 spots. Imagine saying that a couple of weeks ago before the deadline, that the Padres would be getting that out of the bottom third of their order. Let me repeat those numbers in this 3-game series. From the bottom 3 spots in the lineup, 13 hits, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. And that, in a nutshell right there, is such an example of what is different about this Padres team post-deadline, and one of the big reasons they're playing as well as they're playing. The production they are getting at the bottom of their lineup, the way it allows them to put together big innings, to string hits together like we've seen them do a handful of times now in the course of the last 15 or so games. Another really, really good day of baseball for this team. Top to bottom in the lineup. Nick Pivetta, great on the mound, 6 2/3 innings, 1 run given up. And the bullpen, hey, they didn't have to use any of their high leverage guys today. They got Peralta for 1 out, and Yuki Matsui got 6. That was it. Great day, top to bottom, for the Padres as they beat the Giants 11-1. Let's go back to Oracle Park in San Francisco and hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
Mike, pretty good way to start this 2 weeks. Playing division opponents. What are you most pleased about? Besides the wins, what are you most pleased about?
We played a lot of really good baseball. Pitch has been good, defense, base running. I've been really pleased the last, week or so about the offense dictating the game. The last 5 games, I feel like we've continued to pitch well, continue to play defense, continue to do all the little things that are required to help you win a ball game. But the offense is really dictating and setting the tone and really taking over the game. So on display again, at bats 1 through 9, outstanding. Toddy at the top doing his thing. What a play, by the way. Oh, my gosh. Wow. That was about as good as you're going to see in the 5th. But all the way through, tough at bats. Loriano, man, can't say enough about his at bats. O'Hearn, big at bats today. And then Crony's production at the bottom of the lineup. O'Hearn, and then, like I said, Loriano and Crony have been fantastic. Diaz took some good bats as well.
You talk a lot about, it's played out that those little things will win you a lot of games.
That's right.
But then when you add this on there, what can that do for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You do the little things to give yourself every opportunity to stay competitive and stay in every ball game and win on the margins. And but also when you have, crooked numbers offensively, it creates more of a breathing room. And so it's just really the best version of it.
You'll be in first place either way going into Friday, Dodger Stadium. How do you feel you guys match up this time especially after the deadline?
We feel good. We always feel good regardless of who we play. So we're excited to go compete. And, clearly it's a series people are going to be paying attention to. And we're just going to go play good, clean, fundamental Padre baseball. Levitt was good today, too. Want to leave Nicky out. He was really good. That was good. And Yuki, it was a nice job for his clean and quick, too. So.
What does the 10 run, like you're up by 10 runs in the 5th inning, you have an off day tomorrow, you can kind of reset going into that series. What does that do for you?
Yeah, it's important. We got the off day, which we knew we were going to get all reset anyway. But we had some guys down last night that now we're getting 3 days. Guys that carried the mail last night, bringing home Morion, Adam, and Suarez. Also, them being able to get their full 2 and everybody rested and, full bore.
What distinguished Buffetta today?
He really, he did a lot of deeper counts, but he made pitches when he had to. And he got better as he went, which was a great trade. I thought he kind of kicked into gear about the 5th inning and started really getting counts, balls going where he wanted to. The breaking ball was more quality strike. But he competed well and just, did his part to keep it right there.
You have guys who give you good at bats, but what sets Loriano apart? He's kind of relentless.
He is. Relentless is a great word. He's tough-minded guy. He's got nice, quick strokes. Sees the ball good. He's very he's a hard-nosed guy. Takes this really tough at bats. He's got a nice short swing, as I mentioned, and knows what he's going to see, and he's not trying to do too much. He's the whole field.
Two second innings in a row, he's had a big long at bat.
Yes.
Did you find both of those to be significant in terms
Significant.
of setting up?
No question. Absolutely. I mean, listen, that's a drain. On the other pitcher. We celebrated earlier today. He had a really nice long at bat before Iglesias' homer yesterday. Today, long at bats, and then, was able to capitalize on it. So, yeah, those long at bats are draining. And Crony takes a lot of good long at bats at bottom of the order when they're doing what they're doing and just sets everything up for the whole 9.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after this 11-1 win for the Padres against the San Francisco Giants. Sam Levitt back with you inside our San Diego studios as we continue to wrap this one up. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll tell you about the weekend pitching matchups between the Dodgers and the Padres with that series looming on Friday. We have a look at the heart of the Padres order today, our catch of the game, relief pitcher of the game. We'll also have our play of the game, and we'll also have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. And if you want to get a phone call in and discuss today's game, discuss this series, discuss the upcoming series in LA, there is a lot to discuss in Padres land right now. You can call in 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call if you want to get involved. Padres win it 11-1 against the Giants. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues after this. Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Final score, Padres 11 and the Giants 1 as the Padres sweep this series from San Francisco. If you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We will get to some of your phone calls coming up here in just a little bit. Looking ahead to the Padres and Dodgers beginning on Friday in LA. There will be one of two scenarios when the Padres take the field in LA on Friday. They will either be tied with the Dodgers for first place in the National League West, or they will be a game up on LA for first place. That all depends on what the Dodgers do in Anaheim tonight. They finish up a 3-game series against the Angels coming up at 6:38 tonight. If the Dodgers win, the Padres and Dodgers will both be 69 and 52. If the Dodgers lose, Padres will have a full game advantage on the Dodgers for first place. So we'll see what happens later on tonight. But the one thing that, regardless of all that, won't change the starting pitching matchups. And here's what it looks like over the weekend starting on Friday. There are some good matchups. Michael King on the mound for the Padres on Friday. Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers. On Saturday, right-hander Dylan Cease against left-hander old friend Blake Snell. And on Sunday, right-hander Yu Darvish against right-hander Tyler Glasnow. So King against Kershaw, Cease against Snell, Darvish against Glasnow. That is the starting pitching matchup preview for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in LA. Should be very, very interesting. An intense series coming up at Dodger Stadium. Let's tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, presented by David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys. When your freedom and future are on the line, you need the best arm in the pen. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
Relief pitcher of the game today, we'll give it to Yuki Matsui. Yuki was good today, did his job. 2 scoreless innings in the 8th and the 9th. He was dealing with an 11-1 lead, and Yuki did not make it very complicated. 2 scoreless innings, very, very well done. Matsui threw a total of 15 pitches, 10 for strikes. He only faced 6 batters, went 6 up, 6 down. So, hey, Yuki Matsui did his job. Didn't have to use anybody else in the bullpen, so Yuki Matsui, our relief pitcher of the game. Let's tell you about today's catch of the game.
Which defensive play had the biggest impact on today's game?
He is at the wall, leaps up, and he makes the catch.
This is the catch of the game.
Gonna hang a star for Jackson Merrill.
Reeled in by Anthony's Fish Grotto La Mesa, celebrating 80 years of seafood excellence.
Our catch of today's game, we give it to Fernando Tatis Jr., who made a really, really nice play in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Now, the score at the time is 10-0. However, it was hit by Elliot Ramos at 104 miles per hour off the bat. It had a hit probability of 74%, so a very high likelihood based on the launch angle, the exit velo, the batted ball data that it was going to be a hit. But Fernando Tatis Jr. covered 37 feet of ground on that 104 mile per hour line drive and caught the baseball. Got a great jump, reached out to his left, and made a really, really nice play on a sinking liner to right. So, for that reason, Fernando providing today's catch of the game. Really well done by Fernando Tatis Jr. Again, that hit probability for Ramos on that was 74%, and Fernando took the hit away. So by that alone, you can tell it was not an easy play for Fernando. He did a great job. It was a 10-0 game. It's not like it was robbing a home run in a 1-run game, something like that. But really nice play by Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Platinum Gold, or I should say Platinum Glove Award winner couple of years ago has our catch of today's game. Let's go to the phones, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, as the Padres win it today 4-1 against the Giants. Padres have won 5 in a row, 14 out of 17, and they are rolling as they head to LA. Let's go to Daniel. Daniel, you lead us off on this Wednesday afternoon here on the Padres Radio Network. Welcome in.
There's not much not to like right now. I just love the batting lineup, our pitching, our relievers, our starting pitching. I love our coaching. I love the camaraderie of the players. I love when they're at home at Petco Park, they're selling it out. I like the ownership. I'm smelling it. I've been a Padre fan for a long time, but this season right now, and by the way, I got to believe that we won the trade deadline. But I just think that when you have the chemistry, everything's firing, it just feels like this might be it. And I thought maybe last year was it. I went to the last 2 games last year, but we didn't score any runs in the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Only had 2 hits in the final game. And I think that we'll know a lot after this weekend, but it's really fun to be a Padre fan right now.
Well, Daniel, look, I'm with you. It's a lot of fun right now. They're playing great baseball. I'm with you. They totally won the deadline, and it wasn't only the fact that A.J. Preller addressed every need they had at the deadline. They had a need in left field. He addressed it. They had need at catcher. He addressed it. They had to give up something to get something for the catcher, so he went and got Cortez and Sears to fill in what he lost in Bergert and Kolick in the trade for Fermin. He even upgraded the bullpen. He made this a deeper team, a deeper bench. There's no doubt about it. He addressed every need they had. And the other part to it now, as we've seen over the course of the last couple of weeks, is that these new acquisitions are shining. How good has Laureano been? How good has Fermin been? O'Hearn had a big home run in Arizona, had an RBI double today. And Cortez was good yesterday. He's showing some promise. Miller has been electric out of the bullpen. This bullpen is unbelievable at this point with what they can do, the versatility, the optionality, and the high octane they have back there. I think you should feel very, very good with where the Padres are right now, A, in their roster, and B, in the way they're playing. Now, with all that said, we've got a long way to go, and there's a lot of baseball left to play, and that's just talking about the regular season. I'm not even talking about the postseason. Is this team in a very good spot? Yes. Do they have a team you should believe in? Yes. But there is a lot of baseball left to play. And when we want to talk about October and postseason, it is a long way away getting to the finish line, and it takes a lot to get there. So I think 2 things can be true at once. This is a very good team. You should feel very good about the way they're playing and the direction they seem to be heading, but also take it one day at a time. There is a lot of baseball left to play, both regular and postseason. Take it a day at a time. Be confident, and let's see where things continue to go. But you should feel good, no doubt about that. Let's go to Phyllis calling in. Hi, Phyllis.
Hey, Sammy. This is Phyllis, Normal Heights. First time I've ever called in. I can't believe it.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
And I just have a comment to make about Laureano's catches, and I think it was the first inning. I mean, San Francisco, the wind is blowing, swirling all around every direction. And those 2 catches that he made, I haven't heard anyone comment on Laureano's defense in left field yet. Mm-hmm. So I just want to give a shout out to him for that because, yes, Fernando's was phenomenal, but those 2 set the tone, and even the Giant players couldn't even judge their own win today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Phyllis, great point. Great phone call. You're right. Off the bat in these, or I should say in the first inning today, and appreciate the call. You're exactly right. Ramos and Devers, they both fly out to left field to Laureano. The wind's howling, and he makes the plays, and he did them with no problem. So you're exactly right. Got Nick Pivetta off to a good start today. Helped Pivetta through a scoreless first inning and got him off to a nice start in what was a really, really good outing. Phyllis, you're exactly right. Laureano did his job, and that was before he did anything at the plate today, and we were marveling with what he did at the plate both today and yesterday. So, Phyllis, you're absolutely right. Did his job in left field. Nicely done by Ramon Laureano. Let's go to Johnny in Alpine. Hi, Johnny. You're on the Padres Radio Network on this Wednesday. Go ahead.
Hey, Sammy. How you doing today?
Doing well.
Good. Just want to touch on a couple of things. I think it's great. You mentioned those pieces we acquired in the offseason. Those are fantastic. We know that we're doing really good meshing a group of guys. Usually you bring in a couple guys in the offseason, and it's really hard to manage bringing in one new face. We brought in many bullpen pieces, guys now in the starting lineup. So just to see the continuity of our veterans like Manny and Xander, and just the continuity of having Shildt and Victor Rodriguez and Niebla, like you see everything working together. And we talked about this earlier this year. Continuity and year-over-year culture building is what the Padres have been doing, and that's showing the effect now. So really good to see. And just like you said, long way to October. We're not even talking about it now. We got to get to the dog days of August. Let's just keep rolling.
Yeah, Johnny, a good phone call. And you brought up something that we have not talked about in a while, and that is the continuity element of this. So we talked about it early in the season. It's something we talked about back in spring training. One thing that I thought would be really important for this team and this organization was that level of continuity one year to the other, having Mike Shildt back, having this coaching staff back. I think it's been a very, very good thing. And I think it's been part of why this team was able to weather a lot of the storm in the first half of the season, weather through injuries, weather through a lot of the offensive inconsistency, and now get to this point of the year, a long way to go, but this point of the year where they are playing their best baseball at the right time, and that is in the second half of the season. So the continuity of the manager, the coaching staff, an aggressive president of baseball operations, getting it done at the deadline, again, putting his roster in a good position to win, a great position to win, to take advantage of this team's window where they are right now. It all is part of it, and there's certainly continuity to that. Let's step aside. When we come back, we'll get into the heart of the order. Out-of-town scoreboard. We will squeeze in some more phone calls. I'm taking you up until Gwynn and Chris today. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby. They're standing by, so I don't want to keep them waiting for too long, but we'll step aside. We'll come back. More post-game, squeeze in a few more phone calls. Again, the final score here today, Padres 11 and the Giants 1. We wrap things up when we come back. Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Padres beat the Giants 11-1 in San Francisco. Padres are rolling 69-52 on the year. Giants dropped to 59-62. The Padres sweep a 3-game series. They've won 5 in a row, 14 out of 17. And you look at, I think especially the last 4 wins in this 5-game win streak, the series finale against the Red Sox and the 3 in San Francisco, just very complete top to bottom team wins as the Padres continue to play very, very good baseball. Our phone lines are lighting up. We're not going to get to everybody, but we will squeeze in a few more phone calls before we go. I'm going to hand things off to Gwynn and Chris, Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby standing by. They will come your way in about 10 minutes, but we still have a lot to do before we sign off here on the post-game coverage. Let's tell you about the heart of the Padres order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the heart of the order. Presented by Palomar Health, the official healthcare provider of 97.3 The Fan. Palomar Health, leading with heart for every patient. Palomar Health is reimagining healthcare.
The 3-4-5 hitters, the heart of the order for the Padres today, Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, and Xander Bogaerts. They went a combined 3 for 13, 3 runs scored, couple of doubles. Manny went 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Jackson Merrill, 1 for 5 in this game. Xander Bogaerts went 1 for 4, 2 runs scored, a double for Xander as well. So a nice day for the middle of the order, heart of the order, 3 for 13 between Manny, Merrill, and Bogaerts, 3 runs scored. And again, we told you about the bottom of the order, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. They're taking in a different direction in this series. The 7, 8, 9 spots in the lineup, 13 hits, 2 home runs, and 10 RBIs. They were absolutely terrific, whether it was Sheets or Iglesias or Cronenworth or Laureano or Fermin or Diaz. The 7, 8, 9 spots in the lineup today. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. Yeah, that's everybody. Covers everybody. Sheets, Cronenworth, Fermin, Diaz, Iglesias, Laureano. I mean, those guys were terrific in this series, and what a difference a couple of weeks make when you talk about the bottom third of this order. All right, let's squeeze in a few more phone calls here. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, phone number to call. Let's go to Pat in San Diego. Hi, Pat. You're on the Padres Radio Network with Sam Levitt. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it was really great seeing the Padres just get on fire. They were just winning all these games. A lot of great plays, too. You talked about a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of my kind of random questions I have, I didn't see the game, but do the base runners, are some of them wearing those base running like oven gloves? I don't even know what do you call them?
They're called sliding mitts. And they do look like oven mitts, and they do wear them. Pat, appreciate the call. Yeah, it's pretty common these days. Not everybody wears them, but a lot of guys wear them. I think the technical name, if you go look it up online and you want to buy one for your your youth player or something like that, or maybe you play adult baseball or softball, you want to wear a sliding mitt. I think they're called a sliding mitt. That's the technical name, but you're right. They look like oven mitts, and a lot of guys wear them. Not everybody. They're made to just protect your hands in case you get jammed in the base, you get spiked, you get tagged, whatever it might be. Protect those very important hands and fingers. Let's go to Ron in La Mesa. Hi, Ron. You're on the Padres Radio Network. Go ahead.
Hey, Sammy. Thank you for taking my call, buddy. It's good to have you there. Hey, the one thing that I am most happy about this, not only did we beat 2 of their top pitchers, but we swept them. But in the last month, we've caught up 9 games on the Dodgers. So, Sammy, we can go into Dodger Stadium and not worrying about having to make up 4 or 5 games. Our boys can play a little loose. They don't have to be stressed out. All the stress is going to be over in the Dodger dugout, dude, because they have just got pummeled the last couple weeks. And it makes me really happy. It reminds me a lot of the 98 team. And I think we're got a great chance here, Sammy. Thanks, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, Ron, you got a good phone call. Look, it's in their control. It's right in front of them. Now, there's a long way to go. They've got 6 head-to-head meetings against the Dodgers before the end of next week. These are big games. It's not everything, but they are very, very big games. But you're right. This is not a scenario where they're looking up at the Dodgers. They will have a share of first place. The Padres will, when first pitch on Friday happens. It's either going to be a game up on the Dodgers or tied for first place. Entering today, the Padres, who trailed by 9 games at the end of play on July 3rd, they had gained all that ground in less than 6 weeks to tie the Dodgers for first place last night. Entering today, this is not including today's win. In that span, since July 3rd, the Padres after last night went 22-12. The Dodgers went 12-20. And oh, by the way, Dodgers lose tonight. Guess what? It's going to be 10 games that they've made up since July 3rd and not just 9 if the Padres gain another game in the other direction to separate themselves from the Dodgers as far as first place. So it's been a total turnaround. I don't know that any of us could have seen this coming this quickly for the Padres to make up this kind of ground, but make no mistake, it's happened for 2 reasons. Number 1, the Padres have played really well, and number 2, the Dodgers haven't. Bottom line. Let's go to Arturo in Eastlake. Hi, Arturo. You're on the Padres Radio Network. Go ahead.
Where Sammy goes, the champagne flows. How you doing, Sammy?
Arturo, appreciate it. We're not there yet. One step at a time. We're not there yet.
I know. And you know what? To your point that there's still a lot to go. Well, that's great because this is such a fun team to watch. And one thing we haven't, you touched upon it a little bit, is how elite this defense is. And I think it goes unnoticed, but Fernando's play and Ramon Laureano's play and other plays that they've done throughout the year. Cronenworth and Arias have gotten a lot better at first base. But I'll leave it. I'll leave you with this one question. And I'll take your answer out, and of course, always love to hear you. But how do you think the Padres stack up now, 1-9 against the Dodgers? Because we do have a grade 1 to 6.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that from the last 3. So I'll take your answer and do a great job. Sammy, it's hard to get through to you now. You're so popular with this Padre Mania. Take care, my friend.
Sure. Appreciate the phone call. How do they stack up? Look. I'm a little hesitant to really dive into it because we're going to see these 2 teams play 6 times by the end of next week in the next 10 days. So I'm a little hesitant to start making grand proclamations. But I will say this. I think from a lineup standpoint, the Padres are right there or better. I think from a bullpen standpoint, I'll stamp that one right now. The Padres are better. And I think from a starting pitching standpoint, when healthy and all the way stretched out, the Padres are right there or better. There is no unit of this team that I look at on paper and say the Padres don't match up right there with the Dodgers, where they aren't equal to better. I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit because these 2 teams play on Friday. We're going to see it play out, and we'll see how it plays out by the end of the regular season. But there is no category on a roster right now that I look at and I say the Dodgers are better. It's the Padres are equal to better. And we're going to see how it plays out on the field, because at the end of the day, your roster on paper, the names on the back of the jerseys, it means nothing. It means nothing. It's how you play, right? We've seen that before with the Padres and Dodgers. It's how you play. We've seen it both ways. We've seen the Padres upset them. We've seen the Padres have really disappointing ends in the postseason. We have seen it play out both ways. It's about how you play. And these are, safe to say, 2 extremely evenly matched teams right now. And I think the Padres in certain departments, I'll tell you, the bullpen right now, to me, there's no doubt about that. Lineup wise, maybe you can have a conversation, although I think the Padres 1 through 9 are deeper. I do. I'll say that. Does it mean they're gonna sweep the Dodgers this weekend? Doesn't mean that necessarily. They could, but they're right there. They're right there to better. So we'll see how it all plays out beginning on Friday. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
We take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what's going on around the major leagues. Number of finals already today. Diamondbacks beat the Rangers 6-4 in Arlington. Ketel Marte, a 9th-inning home run for the D-backs in that one to put them ahead. Rockies came back to beat the Cardinals 6-5 in St. Louis today. Nationals beat the Royals 8-7 in Kansas City. Brewers won a 12th in a row. They beat the Pirates 12-5 in Milwaukee today. Tigers beat the White Sox 1-0 in Chicago. Games going on right now. Reds ahead of the Phillies 1-0 in Cincinnati in the 6th inning. We have the Marlins leading the Guardians 4-1 in Cleveland in the third in a delay right now, rain delay before first pitch between the Mariners and the Orioles in Baltimore. Twins and the Yankees also in a rain delay in New York before first pitch, and the Braves and the Mets in New York also in a rain delay before first pitch. So we'll see when those games get going. Cubs and the Blue Jays in Toronto, middle of the second there, no score. Astros lead the Red Sox 2-0 in Houston in the first inning. Only other games yet to begin today. The Dodgers and the Angels in Anaheim at 6:38. Shohei Ohtani against Kyle Hendricks, the pitching matchup there. We will have, of course, a very close eye on that one. And the Rays and the A's in Sacramento at 7:05. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Wednesday. Padres beat the Giants 11-1. They sweep a 3-game series. Let's hear our play of the game.
The line between winning and losing can be razor thin. Which play was the difference between victory and defeat? This is today's Play of the Game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
1-2 again, and Cronenworth lines it up the middle. It'll bounce on one hop off the bag into center field. Bogarts has scored. O'Hearn is on his way. Laureano's headed to third. The throw there, not in time. And off the base at second for Cronenworth. A 2-run single to give the Padres a 2-0 lead.
A fortuitous bounce off the second base back, Jake Cronenworth. 2-run single, the first and second of 7 runs the Padres would score in the top half of the second inning. A 7-run second. They took a 7-0 lead. They would go on to take an 11-0 lead and win this game 11-1. And we said it, Ramon Laureano, that 10-pitch walk just before Cronenworth had that 2-run single, certainly a very big part of that inning. And then it would be Fernando Tatis Jr., 2-run single, a rise, sac, fly, Manny a double, run came in on the throwing error by Ramos, pass ball made it 7-0, RBI double for O'Hearn, 2-run home run for Laureano, another RBI hit for Tatis, and the Padres scoring 11 runs on 14 hits against the Giants here today. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our post-game show in video form there as well. Taking a look ahead to Friday in LA, series opener between the Padres and the Dodgers, and the Padres, one way or another, will have a share of first place in the National League West when that series begins. First pitch on Friday in LA at Dodger Stadium at 7:10 p.m. Our pregame coverage from Dodger Stadium will begin at 6:10 p.m. Pitching matchup on Friday. On the mound for the Dodgers, left-hander Clayton Kershaw, and on the mound for the Padres, right-hander Michael King. Taking a look at the final totals here today for the Padres, 11 runs, 14 hits, no errors. They left on 8. For the Giants, 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. They left on 5. Winning pitcher Nick Pivetta improves to 12-4. Losing pitcher was Kai-Wei Teng, who drops to 1-2. Time of game, 2 hours and 34 minutes. And the crowd at Oracle Park in San Francisco, 35,080. Once again, first pitch tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. First pitch on Friday, following a scheduled off day tomorrow at 7:10 in LA. Pre-game coverage begins on Friday at 6:10. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long from our San Diego studios. Final score here today, the San Diego Padres 11 and the San Francisco Giants 1. Gwen and Chris coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.